Hey there everyone, Spazzy Dragon here, aka Syndromes. It's 7 in the evening for me, and I'm coming down from a huge coffee high, so I'm not actually going to go into the game just for the sake of not getting a heart attack. But, instead, I'm going to take you on a small trip into the world of modding Discovery Freelancer. Yes, you might be a new or not so new player and you might be looking at these developers with their fancy yellow names and be like, I wish I could do good things for the community, but I don't know where to start. And quite frankly, I have no idea either, but it turns out that Freelancer in general is a very easy-ish I can't really finish that with a straight face. It's not really easy to mod, but everything that you understand, like everything you can see, is very straightforward. So I'm going to take you on an adventure today, as I already said, and we're going to make a certain little weapon today that I was pondering all day. So we're going to start off by going to whatever you have your Freelancer installed. By default, it should be installed under somewhere in the C folder under users and application data. You know where Minecraft usually gets installed. It's somewhere there. I don't know. I usually just pick my games sort of section for that. And the first thing we're going to do is going to make a copy, and this is where we are going to work. We are not going to touch the main install, please. I realize that people sometimes say, oh, I'm just going to use the main one and I'll make a backup and I'll, you know, revert the files. That you won't. You'll forget. You're a dumbass. You're just going to do that. It happened to me at least 3 times now, and I'm pretty sure the admins are not going to be too fond if they start catching me with like any files being modified on my install. So forget about your main install, and that being said, forget about the launcher as well. We're not going to be using that. And there's a couple of things we're going to prepare before we actually start. There's a couple of things we will need. First of all, I highly suggest that you get this little neat program here. It's called Notepad++. It's kind of like Notepad, but a lot easier. It looks nicer, it's a little bit easier on everything. And after that, we're going to go again into our new copied folder, and we're going to go under XA, and we are going to make a shortcut like this. Now, the reason why we're going to do a shortcut is we are going to be running it in window mode like this. This is basically windowed mode, and let's quickly check if it works. Hopefully it does, and hopefully Shadowplay continues capturing the screen even though I'm currently launching Freelancer in the background. Oh, that's a big screen. We won't need a screen this big. Let's see if we can actually make it a little bit smaller. But actually, yeah, there we go. A nice little screen like this. So this is how we're going to test our modded files. And actually, before we start, we are going to quickly create a ship. Okay, so what are we going to do today is make a ship weapon for a battleship, which is basically a rapidly firing, long-range, anti-snub weapon which physically cannot be dodged. Sounds cool, right? Yeah, kind of, but at the same time we're going to balance it in a completely different way. So first of all, we need a battleship. So we are going to go to base, Washington Shipyard. I think that's the correct name. Yeah, there we go. Cash 1, boom, 1 billion credits, and rep Liberty Navy GRP1, rep Liberty Navy Guardian 1. So we should be able to buy ourselves a Liberty Battleship and equip the one turret. Now obviously this is single player, so IDs and everything else does not really matter. All you need is the money and the reputation. So, where is the... There you go, basic battleship missile turret. So let's take a look at the stats right here. actually, let's quickly open up our regular notepad and see the current stats. So we have 180,000 hull damage. So that's a lot. That is a lot and a half full DMG. So that's obviously that's going to be modded. Yes, we are currently going to mod an existing weapon, and yes, I will show you later how to make a weapon from scratch, including the icon, the description, the and everything else as soon as I figure out how to do it myself. And I suppose I'm just going to give a upfront kudos for Justin, who's actually being nice enough to find me the required tutorial, or at least trying to find the person who knows how to do it. Right. So, as you can see, something about the way that the damage works in Freelancer is that the shield damage, unless specified, is always going to be half the damage of the hull damage. And as you can see, in this case, it is exactly that. We have 90,000 to 180,000, so obviously that's that. So, the range is going to be it is currently 5,000 meters, so that's 5k. That's a very decent range, and I think we are going to actually keep it for now as it is. Secondly, projectile speed, 200 meters per second. That's a little bit of a finicky-ish thing, because we're going to mod it in a way that it actually is going to be kind of fair to the snubs that we're actually going to be shooting. And I'm going to explain how this works in a moment. So where the hell did that go? Basic on, where did you go? Basic missile. Okay, there we go. We're gonna mount one of these. Right. So that's that. We can actually, we're going to, first of all, we're going to, yeah, we actually did do everything. We're going to save this game as Battleship Missile Test, and we are just going to close the game outright. So this is what we're going to be working with, and right now what we're going to do is we are going to run a specific little program called flstat. Now the reason for this is that in-game files do not reference guns as you see them in-game. They actually use a specific in-game name for each and every single thing. So first of all, we're going to make sure that the Freelancer location for this thing is the copy one. In my case, it is already. Then we're going to switch to the missiles tab, and we're going to find the basic battleship missile turret. So this is the gun we are going to be modding, and as you can see, currently it has pretty much all of the statistics that we just saw. We have it right here, so it's 180,000 hull damage, and it is 500 something. Quite frankly, already that's the range. So that's the Seeker range. So there's a lot of things in this section that we can see. For example, let's start. So it's the class. Fair enough. It's the type of thing. Price, ammo price, hull damage, shield damage, power usage. We're going to be tweaking this a lot. Efficiency, which is basically refire versus power, I think. Then we have the refire and etc. So, what is going to happen? All we need from this section right now is how it actually is called. So, we're going to copy this value for now, and now we are going to go into the, again, make doubly sure that this is the modded folder, for the love of God. You don't want to get banned. Let's go to data, and then we're going to go to equipment, and go to weapon equipment. And this is what we're going to edit with Notepad+. And this is the reason why I like Notepad+, because it instantly kind of, well, you can see it for yourself, right? So, I'm going to press Control F to set up the find, and we are going to look up the DSC basic missile turret. Now, this is the first one. Don't make the same mistake as I did as I was preparing for this video. This is DSC basic missile turret G motor. This is actually the gunboat. This is the basic gunboat missile. So in order to find that, let's try adding M, and we should be able to find the basic missile turret motor like this. There we go. There we go. So, first thing is first. So how are we going to balance out a missile that cannot physically be dodged? It is going to have the same tracking stats as a cruise disruptor, and at the same time is going to be fired by a battleship. So the obvious question is, how the fuck do you balance that? Well, my solution to this is pretty simple. We're going to make sure that this missile cannot physically catch up to a fleeing fighter. Make sense? So this is what we're going to do. So let's stop here for a moment. Let's quickly launch Freelancer again. And we're going to test one thing real fast. We're going to go to the new game again. I'm just going to make sure that I didn't fuck up something. Like, this is going to be easier. It's easier if you do everything correctly than if you fuck up afterwards. So, let's see. So this thing thrusts at a speed of a 200 meters per second-ish. So obviously, that is not always going to be the case, because if you're fleeing, then you're constantly doing all sorts of, like, movements, and, you're dodging around, and you're hitting asteroids and shit. We don't want this weapon to be too overpowered. So, first things first, we are going to choose a specific type of speed that the missile is going to travel. So it means that if this missile is specifically meant to target fighters and bombers and annoy the bejesus out of them, they must be quick enough, but at the same time they should be outrunnable, considering they have a 5,000 meter range. So, we have 200, and let's say for now that we're going to choose 800 meters per sec. 180. So 180 meters per second. That is going to be the speed of the projectile. Right. So we can exit this game again. And we're going to go back. So this is the motor section of the Discovery Basic Missile Turret Motor. So what this means is that the acceleration, every motor has its own acceleration, which means that when you fire a missile, it is going to be slowly accelerating the missile itself. So this is the FL stat. For example, right now we're using stock values also. Why the hell do I have two of them open? So yeah, there we go. Go back to the basic battleship missile turret. So, okay, so we're going to go over here. And so this is so here we have all the things that are responsible for how the missile behaves. So the muzzle speed is basically how fast in meters per second this thing gets launched out of the tube, right? And this lifetime is basically how far this thing travels. So this would be 5,000 meters. This thing would be 4,000 meters, 1,000 meters, I think. Maybe. I'm not sure right now. Quite frankly. I might be wrong over here. But anyway. This is how it's going to be. And this is where we start. So motor delay is 2. It means that when you click the launch missile button, it is going to launch the missile, and it's going to stay still for a while. 2 seconds to be exact. This is in order to prevent people from just cruising in and launching things, I think. Quite frankly, I think it actually doesn't work that way, that if you launch these things, they're still going to catch up with the parent impulse, so to speak. But anyway, this is the first thing that we're going to remove. We're going to remove the 2 and set it to 0. So it is going to be instantly moving the moment it leaves the tube. But again, so we're going to quickly reload the ini file. Go to basic battleship missile turret again, and as you can see, I think I have the... Oh, I suppose I actually need to save the changes first, don't I? Okay, let's reload the ini files again. Now, as you will notice in a moment, basic battleship missile turret, every time we change something, these maximum ranges and maximum speeds are going to change as well. So right now it means that it is going to launch without any delay. The acceleration is 30, so it means that it is going to start with 15 meters per second, and over the time of 7, I don't know, I think it was 7 seconds or 7,000, I don't know, quite frankly. I'm not that expert in this, but it means that this multiplied by that is, if you are standing still, this thing is going to travel this much. And if you are going by impulse, 80 meters per second, it is going to travel this far. And if you are going to be going full thrust, just like light fighters, it is going to go that far. Now, obviously, we have a battleship, so that is not that simple. Secondly, I want this missile to have a clean, even maximum speed. So the moment it launches from the launcher, it needs to have the same speed. So we're going to make sure that the acceleration is 0. And we're going to save these changes. And now we're going to check how saving this is going to decrease the maximum range and maximum speed. So in here, if we start off at 0, the moment the missile is going to reach its peak where it explodes, because it cannot go faster, is going to be going 260. So if you're going 80 impulse, it's going to go 340, and if you're going full force, it's going to be 460. So obviously, as already said, we decided that we need 180 meters per second, so it can still be outran by a snub, even if a battleship launches it via impulse. So we're going to actually quickly go into the game again and load up that file we just had, and we are going to quickly check how fast does a battleship actually impulse, because quite frankly I forgot. Sorry guys, I actually forgot. Okay, so it looks like the battleship impulses at a speed of 90 as opposed to 80. So that's all that we need to know. Quickly exit this again. Right. So, acceleration is 0, delay is 0. So these are the default values for maximum speed. Now we're going to reload the ini files and see how this changes when we adjust it for the acceleration. See? Now it's a lot smaller. It means that if it is maximum speed is... If you're standing still, the maximum speed is going to be 15 meters per second. That's the speed that the missile is going to travel, and as you can see, it is not going to travel that far. The maximum range is going to be 2,500 I mean. Now, we need a maximum speed of 180. Remember that this is not 80. We're not moving at 80. We're actually moving at 90. So, obviously, just to check... Oh, seriously, don't I have freaking calculator ins for some reason? So, let's quickly check if it is in fact the case. So 50 is the parent impulse, 80 is what the game thinks the usual impulse is, 150. So yes, that's the thing. So, we want 180 meters per second. So we want to reach this on a battleship's impulse. So what we're going to do is we're going to remove the battleship's impulse, which is 90. It means that the starting speed of this missile needs to be 90, and that is exactly what we are going to do right now. Let's go back. So, discovery, lifetime, strength, radius, this is the explosion itself, and hull damage. Now, this is basically what we're going to do. We are trying to make missiles that will annoy the fuck out of fighters, but at the same time they're not going to rape them in the face. So let's say we are going to take the damage of a Sidewinder missile. Let's actually quickly go check how much does a Sidewinder missile do damage. Yes. Sweeper missile, Sidewinder missile. Right, so hull damage 6,000. Oh, that's fair enough. That's actually pretty close as I wanted it to be. And that's pretty much it. We're not going to add energy damage, so whatever. Impulse is basically how much knockback effect does it have. So basically, Battleship Flax have huge impulse. So let's just save the changes. And let's continue. So, munition. Nickname, that's the same. Ammo crate, units per container, requires ammo, true. Ammo limits, so I'm thinking 20 is going to be enough. That's going to be more than enough. One-shot sound is going to be the same. Constant effect, missile 2 drive. We might change this a little bit later. Detonation distance is going to be 2. Lifetime is going to be 50, so that's like, what, 5k, I suppose? I'm not sure. I don't remember which lifetime affected the actual distance traveled, but, well, there you go. Force gun orientation. I'm going to set this to true just because I want to see them fire at, like, different sort of, you know, angles if I have many of them. The Seeker lock, time to lock 0, Seeker range 5,000. It means that this thing is going to target at 5,000. So this is basically when the red cross appears. Seeker field of view. Now, basically what this means is that, let me just open up Paint, and I'm going to be artistic as dicks. I'm going to show you what exactly happens. So, let's just say that this is a missile, right? This is a missile, and this is the front of a missile. So as you launch it, there it goes. The Seeker field of view in degrees is basically where the missile sees the player and tracks it. So 40 degrees is somewhere around here-ish. So imagine the missile is going forward. Everything that, if the player is still within this cone of view in front of the missile, it is still going to track. It means that, imagine the player is actually going very close to the target. So imagine this is a beautiful fucking ship. So this is the player. As he's flying towards, he's still inside of this 40-degree angle. It's still going to suck. And then he starts to turn. As he is turning, he's still inside the missile's field of view. But the moment he turns too much and goes out, the missile just flies off. And it just flies off. So what we want to do is place it 180 degrees, because obviously. And cruise disruptor, yeah, you know what? Let's leave it true just to fuck with people. Right. Actually false. I think with a explosion range like that, it might actually destroy the other missiles that are actually following it. Right. Okay, so let's go further. So that's the IDS name and IDS info. That is the name of the gun, and that is the info card for the gun. I don't know where this is editable yet. I'm going to show you later, but there you go. Right, so, parent impulse. So, we're going to make sure that these are 0. Quite frankly, I do not know if these do anything. All I know is that we need to change the muzzle velocity from 50 to 90, because 90 plus 90 equals 180. So that's the maximum amount of speed we want this thing to travel, and etc. Now, refire delay, 20. I would say let's make sure that this thing is fast enough So, about, yeah. So this should be a good refire rate. And we are going to cut the power by half. So you can spam these things a lot for a short amount of time, but you are going to kind of kill your power core if you keep doing that. And turn rate 30, that's the turn rate of the gun itself. It means that this is the speed that the gun is, you know? And actually I'm going to make it even smaller, I suppose, maybe? Maybe? Yeah, I think this is going to be enough. Right, so, and now if we reload the ini files again, we should have a basic battleship missile turret, which is now seeker forward 180 degrees. Muzzle speed 70, lifetime 50, it means everything, everything, everything. So, 170 for some reason. It shows 170 because the game thinks that we're impulsing at 80, but obviously the battleship is impulsing it at 90. So it actually is correct. The maximum speed that we physically can get out of a battleship missile like this is going to be 180. Right. So this is how it looks. And now it's time to actually make sure that we actually have this saved. And we do. And now we are going to go and test it again. Now, we're actually going to make sure how this, I think, new game is not what I wanted to get. I wanted to do that. Base Manhattan. Base Planet Manhattan. Base Manhattan with a capital M. I really don't like. Right. And something I just forgot is that I do not in fact have auto buy, because this is not a server, this is single player. I'm so freaking used to auto buy, holy shit, I just noticed that. Okay, let's quickly buy ourselves 20 battleship missiles. I'm actually going to quickly check the statistics of this missile now. Right, like this. Let's see. 6,000 per shot. Range 5,000, projectile speed scale small, refire rate 1, turn a lot. Not really. We're actually going to need to kind of adjust the turn speed a little bit. But maybe not really. Now obviously the best way to actually test this would be in a mission, and that's probably exactly what we are going to... Okay, let's go to base Rio Grande. Take a mission. Any mission. Now this should be good. So let's quickly go and do this one mission. Ah, it's in a field. Although I suppose it's okay. We're not on a server, so. Wow, looks like the turret steering, turret zoom itself is kind of borked. Oh, that's what you get. Alright, so we have technically successfully made a anti-snub weapon for a battleship, which is... On paper it sounds amazing. It's a missile that you physically cannot evade. Or at least you won't be as soon as I make the turn rate that of a CD, let's say, of a Mosquito CD, for example. And, yeah. Actually, let's try this. And I want to actually get in there and actually shoot this thing at snubs. Oh, that's a lot of snubs. Pew, 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 pew. As you can see, I'm actually draining my shield quite well. Now this guy isn't really thrusting either. Oh, this guy really wants to get shot. Look at these missiles trying to hit this guy. Holy shit, they're actually looping around. I did not expect this, but holy shit, this looks awesome. Guys, these missiles are looping around trying to hit this guy. Oh yes! Holy shit, did you see that? That is fucking beautiful. God damn it. I did not I did not expect that the missiles would actually arc like that. Holy shit, that looked amazing actually. Okay, trying to kind of fine-tune it a little bit. First of all, I need a much smaller um kind of, you know, the sorry. I need a much smaller explosion size. A radius of 128, that's a lot. That is actually quite a bit. So what we're going to do is we're going to go down to the Sidewinder missile again. And detonation distance is 2, radius is 45, so that is what we're going to use. We're going to use a detonation range of 45. And after that, we're going to find the maximum angular velocity. So this is basically the turn radius, I think. I think that's the turn radius. Turn rate 30. Ah, that's the gun. Okay, so I think max angular velocity that would be. Let's check here. Refire 0.20. Actually a good refire. Ah, might as well. Actually, no, fuck it. Muzzle angular velocity 8.36. Sorry, 4.36. Actually, I think what we have right now is decent enough, but I kind of want to, you know, fuck around with this a little bit, so I want to go into refire 11120. I want to have a faster refire than that. So let's go back to the munition itself. Sorry, no, it was the gun. There we go, the gun. Damage per fire, power usage, refire delay. Let's set it to 0.5. We're then going to later adjust the trail so it doesn't lag the server. But for now, munition, ammo limit, let's go to 40 for now anyway. I really think the 20 in a real life scenario, considering you also could have more than one ship with these sort of loadouts, it's going to be more than enough. And there we go. Let's change this. Launch Freelancer again. Let's do that mission again. Although this time we're actually going to buy ammo. Go. Okay, we're going to actually go to Malta, because Malta actually has some really good missions. Or at least it should have. But they are so small. Lol. Okay, screw it. We're going to do the big damages, guys. This thing is slow. Okay. So this time I'm gonna make sure that you guys actually see what is going on. Wrong way, lol. Ugh. This is certainly not what I expected. Yeah. Okay, this is gonna be good enough for now. Anyway, this recording is already taking up a big chunk. Now again, I cut the reload by half. You can even see that it doesn't have a timer anymore. But at the same time, what this means is that kind of funny. It means that we can actually shoot behind us at this point. What at the same time, what this means, I'm gonna actually drain my energy a lot faster. And again, this is basically the kind of weapon where you see that a bomber is annoying you, and you just shoot these things at him. It's like, ah, fuck off! And then they're sort of too busy trying to shoot down the missiles or CD them or countermeasure them, and you were kind of, you know, getting away-ish. I'm pretty sure that what I suggested right now is highly imbalanced, but it's kind of fun. I would like to see a ship like this. Okay. Let's fire all of these in different places. There we go. Now let's see. Boom. Oh, they missed him, but it's okay. They're still following him. Holy shit. Oh wow, what are they doing? Are they still following him? Oh yes, they are. But they're following me. Holy shit. Yeah, these missiles are way too slow to actually catch a fighter. Yeah, there they go. Okay. Although I will admit that looks cool as fuck. And just going to freaking cruise launch them. Ah, see? The fighter is just barely fast enough. Oh, come on. You better than that. Click, 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 click. Launching more. Ah. No, it's okay. I can launch them over here and they will still track him. I think. Will it? I suppose. Okay, I suppose the next thing I need to do is test this on an multiplayer sort of thing. So I'm gonna get a few friends to get this sort, you know, make a copy and shit, and we're going to continue on actual live players on an actual live server because I think this might be a little bit more interesting that way. Anyway, this is Spazzy Dragon aka Syndromes. I'm going to follow up this video with a part 2. So, buckle up. We're going to be dodging some missiles.